Let's talk about Portland, a city that I've been living in for about 6 years now. And it's so easy to dunk on Portland from the left and the right, and most of it is kind of deserved. But it's something that I've always admired about this city, the fact that it elicits such strong opinions from people. However, I'm sorry to say, your opinion can only go so far without knowing the people, places, and things that are affected by politics and vice versa affect politics themselves. So cultural literacy is an idea that everybody in society should have a grasp of certain topics, specific ones in fact. And when we all have at least an elementary grasp of this agreed upon set of people, places, and things, it allows us to have an even footing when we're talking about more complex issues like cost of living, like homelessness, racism, environmentalism, progressivism, and protest culture. These things that are synonymous with life and culture and history in this city. And not only to Portlanders themselves, but the American media machine in general, which most definitely paints this place out to be something that I don't think it is. And that was really the impetus for this video. How can I start having more informed and productive conversations about complex problems where I live? So the first place I went to, maybe obviously to find out what other people think, is Powell's bookstore. I picked up this zine, this guide to Portland, but it reads more like a travel guide than any kind of cultural analysis. And I also picked up this cultural atlas, which is just a wonderfully illustrated and beautiful book. However, I found 2013 to be already dated when it comes to culture in Portland. And I know it's not trying to be this, but it really isn't the info dump I was looking for, the fast and punchy way to know what's up. So I thought, why not just make it myself? My idea is to bring you all through an A to Z list with one entry for each letter. Therefore, maybe by definition, it's not an exhaustive list. I can only choose 26. There are some letters that are more popular than others in the English language, and whenever an honorable mention is appropriate, I will be sure to mention that. And by the end of these 26 letters, I would like you to have a more complete and more informed view about what everyday life is like in Portland, Oregon, and specifically how a very complex world is viewed through people that live here. Just to list off some caveats, the first one is that I am not an authoritative source by any means. However, I will try to use authoritative sources to back up what I'm saying and explain why I think this entry is important for each letter. Another caveat is that I am only talking about the city of Portland, so the surrounding suburbs or the state itself is out of scope for this video. And the last thing is that no entry in this video is going to be about a general political topic. For example, cost of living or taxes. And I'm making this choice because I want this video to be extremely Portland specific. You may be able to make analogies to other cities based on what I'm saying, but for now, I'm just keeping it 100 for real facts, for real knowledge, encyclopedic in nature. So let's go ahead and get started.